Ron, that car is really one of the biggest leads investigators have right now in this case. Now, that car was found just right over there in this parking lot. You can see it's since been towed off. Investigators, they've cleared the scene as well within about the last 45 minutes. Chris, if you'll kind of pan over here, I want to show you the Tulsa Fire Rescue boat that did respond out here in case they needed some more reinforcements. But Jinx Fire Department, we're told, did make that rescue. There's a lot going on. I'm going to step out of the shot here. I just spoke with the Verdigris Fire Chief Mike Schaefer. He tells me this man you see right here in the middle of, I'm not sure what this thing is, in the middle of the river. This is the man they are trying to rescue. Now, he just told me just a couple of moments ago they don't have evidence to support this, but what they think right now is this man might have crashed a vehicle into the Verdigris River and swam his way to this area that is in the river. Well, Ron, happening right now, Judge Mussman is giving the jury their instructions, and if you've ever been inside the courtroom, watched a trial or anything like that, you know that process can take several minutes. It's a long process. Yeah, Naomi, good morning. I want to tell you, I just spoke with the Big Kevin Fire Chief, and he described it as a war zone, and I asked him why, because, this aerosol cans, they were deodorant, but it was these cans just like this that he said as they were pulling up, they were actually just flying out of that truck, hitting their fire truck as they were pulling in. So OHP launched a boat around 9 o'clock this morning, and down behind me, right on the bank there of the Arkansas River, you can see some Tulsa County Sheriff's deputies down there just kind of talking amongst themselves and watching as the boat is in the water. Yeah, Ron, we're talking days. State leaders tell us that it could be here by next week. The state's vaccination plan is set in 4 phases. And Ron, this morning they were lined up for that reason to also show support to Officer Howard Smith's family. I'm going to step out of the way for just a moment. As you mentioned, it appears this is the service is wrapping up. From what I can see, they are bringing out the casket with Officer Howard Smith. Now, we're not going to zoom all the way in out of respect, but just to kind of show you what's going on. This funeral wrapping up, and they will lead him on another procession to Shawnee, Oklahoma. Josh Whitekiller is a firefighter, paramedic. His girls mostly call him Super Dad.
Getting a little bit better every day, it feels like. When we first got home, it was a lot of the same as in the hospital, just basically either sitting here in bed, just trying to relax.
He's still on oxygen at home and is working on his breathing, still getting winded. He says each day he pushes himself a little more to build up the strength he once had.
They want, do a little bit every day, push yourself a little bit every day, but not so much that you're just completely wiped out.
A huge part of Josh's recovery were the prayers from the community of Broken Arrow and beyond.
Just seeing, complete strangers, not just Broken Arrow, but, Tulsa, surrounding areas, whatever. It was really cool to see. You don't expect that from, we don't expect anything from anybody, but just to, see everybody reach out to my family and, pray for us and everything. It was really special.
An outpouring of love from all over. And his uncle, Billy Wilkinson, also a Broken Arrow firefighter, helping spread hope that Josh would recover.
Prayers obviously do work, and the more prayers and support, I feel like the stronger and better the outcome.
To see him here today, his family calls it a miracle. Wilkinson says Josh was 1 day away from having to be intubated. That's how severely sick he was.
Then we had all these thousands of prayers and support from our community, and Josh started getting better, and I don't consider that a coincidence.
As Josh gets some fresh air and gets stronger, he's just happy to be home surrounded by his family, who give him a reason to keep fighting.
You just try and protect yourself the best.
As Mac Shia and 2 of his employees were closing up Buzzin' Cannabis Company Monday night, things went from calm to chaotic.
They came in, they were yelling, we want everything, we want all the weed, we want all the money, we want all the cash. Just dump everything, don't play games with us, all the, the threatening stuff.
The owner tells me the suspects got away with about $1,000 in cash, then $10,000 worth of product. Thankfully, they were able to get it back, and now the employees are putting it back on the shelf.
They spent a good 5 minutes trying to take anything they can out of this place, and by the time they walked out the door, the police were waiting for them.
Police arrested 18-year-old Jace Smith, 19-year-old Desmond Caldwell, and 20-year-old Michael Espinoza. During the robbery, Shia was able to grab his dog, lock himself in the store safe, and call 911.
And I always thought in my mind, what do I do in this situation if someone comes in? So my goal was getting that safe, lock it, and call 911. That's the best thing I could do if I'm that. I was lucky to be where I was at the time.
Public Information Officer Chris Walker says the store near Elma, New Orleans is a busy spot in town. He says it was a brazen robbery.
It was a poor choice of spots for a robbery.
Shia says the 3 men got to the back because the door was unlocked while they were preparing to close, something he says he won't let happen again. In Broken Arrow, covering news that matters, Scott Martin, Fox 23 News. Thank you so much for waking up with us. It's 8 o'clock. I'm Scott Martin. Ron and Michelle are off this week. Winter weather is ushering us into the new year. We have live Fox 23 severe weather team coverage. PSO is making progress getting the power turned on for people in West Tulsa. Well, it's been a year since the pandemic and a tough year, and a new program just launched to help those struggling with money. Weeks without rain, gusty winds, and heat are leading to high fire danger. The Fox 23 severe weather team is finding grass still smoldering in Creek County. It's Major Jenkins there giving us an update on the 2 escaped fugitives who are now back in custody. They were found in a residence. You heard him talk about, and he said this was the most extensive manhunt operations that he has had or that he has seen. He's talking about the schools being closed. That is because they actually worked with the school district to work on getting it closed because that was their spot for their command post. But definitely folks in Rogers County can sleep easy tonight. Breaking news, Tulsa police are investigating a shooting near the Villas Hope Valley apartments. Those are near 61st and Peoria. We're learning a neighbor reported they heard about 10 shots. Fox 23's Abigail Dye, she is live at that scene right now. Yeah, kind of creepy looking. It's something straight out of an Alfred Hitchcock movie. We told you they're now turning to laser pointers as a way to get rid of them. And I don't know what I would do because I have that contactless on my dash, so they just leave it there and go. So I don't know what I would. If they knocked on the door and it's the police.
Why is the officer at my door?
What?
I come bearing food.
Yeah.